In this section, Introduction, Eligibility, how can I apply? Is there a fee? What documents must I submit as part of my application? What happens if my application is successful? What happens if my application is unsuccessful? Introduction. The regularization of long-term undocumented migrants scheme is an administrative scheme established under the minister's executive powers to regularize the status of long-term undocumented migrants residing in the state. Eligibility. 1. General criteria. Applicable to all applicant types. 2 types of applications. 3 single and principal applicants. 4 family application, couple only. 5 family application with at least 1 dependent minor child. 6 family application with at least 1 dependent adult child. 7 You are not eligible to make an application. How can I apply? Please follow these steps to apply for permission under the regularization of long-term undocumented migrants scheme. You can only apply between the 31st of January 2022 and the 31st of July 2022, inclusive. You must complete the online application form and submit it with all the required documentation. All applications must be submitted online here. Applications will not be accepted by post. Please remember to submit your application online, as ISD will not process applications that are saved in draft on your ISD online account. Is there a fee? Yes, there is an application fee. The application fee for single applications is €550. The application fee for family applications is €700. Children up to 23 years, living with their parents, can be included in a family application. Spouses, de facto, civil partners without children can apply as a family. You are required to pay this application fee in full when you are submitting your online application form. Otherwise, your application will not be submitted. This application processing fee is non-refundable in all cases. Therefore, you should ensure that you are eligible for the scheme before applying. What documents must I submit as part of my application? Click here to view the required documentation as part of the online application process. All applicants must provide evidence of their identity and their undocumented residency in the state for either 2, 3 or 4 years, see criteria above, prior to the launch of the scheme on the 31st of January 2022. If you are applying as a family unit, you must also provide evidence of the relationship between family members on the application form. It is vitally important that you complete the application form fully and correctly and that you submit it and all of the documentation required, including the appropriate fee on or before the closing date. Giving false or misleading information and/or documentation may result in an application being refused or the revocation of any permissions granted on foot of that application. What happens if my application is successful? If your application is successful, we will send you a letter by post telling you will be granted permission on a stamp 4 basis for 2 years. Each member of your family will receive their own individual letter. This is a very important letter, so please keep it somewhere safe. If you are over the age of 16, you must attend at your local immigration office to register your permission. Further information will be outlined in the approval letter. You can get more information on the general conditions for Stamp 4 here. Important. Failure to register a permission granted may affect any future applications you make to Immigration Service Delivery, including renewal of your permission, re-entry to the state and citizenship. What happens if my application is unsuccessful? We will advise you in writing that your application has been unsuccessful, and the reasons why, by post. You can request an appeal of the decision on your application within 30 working days of the date of your letter advising you that your application was unsuccessful. You must submit this appeal online. Here you should refer directly to the reasons set out by ISD as to why your application was unsuccessful. You should state why you do not agree with the decision by ISD to refuse any statements you make as part of your appeal application should be supported by documentary evidence. This page was last updated on January 13, 2022.